Hello everybody, and today I'm doing another tactical video about Necron Flayed ones. Okay, there are a few ways to use these, and I found a few interesting techniques. Okay, one of the main reasons why I like Flayed ones is because they have the deep strike rule, or whatever you call it. You can deep strike 9 inches and charge, which is awesome. In my opinion, I think these are actually better than Lynch God and Wraiths, just because they're hard to kill. But let me tell you a few techniques which I've picked up. Number one, right? Always have these start in reserves. Never start them on the table. There's absolutely no need to start them on the table. Okay? Okay, so depending on what detachments you take, and how many HQs you have to have, I would highly recommend Imotech the Stormlord to go with Flayed ones. Okay, because it makes him reroll ones to hit. But another good thing is he has My Will Be Done. So he's able to give the Flayed ones this turn after the deep strike, +1 to hit. So we're hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. Wounding with rerolling failed wounds, which is shred. So this guy makes Flayed ones a lot better. It's almost impossible to miss with the Flayed ones with him in your army. And if you've got a unit of 20 Flayed ones, you can just imagine the damage you can do. And just the amount of dice you have, there's just... they can bring anything down with enough time. And another mandatory choice if you're using 20 Flayed ones is Orkan the Diviner. Okay, he's the the Cryptek that gives you a 5+ in combat as well as shooting. So you have to have this guy, otherwise the Flayed ones will get wiped out really quick. The armor safe sucks. Okay, so let's go into the tactics point now. Okay, turn 1. Make sure you start turn 1 behind one of your units, even as a few half an inch or so. Okay, if you have first turns, do this as well, right? Because he goes to use initiative. If you start the game like he's right there, you got turn 1, he seizes. He can just move his heavy weapons or whatever the hell he uses, or hits really hard. So these are the closest and blow the brains out. Okay, so make sure you start just a little bit back. If you can, like have a troops over here or something as well. So there's no way you can get to shoot those. So turn 1, don't shoot these, or don't use his storm ability unless you got something that you really need to hurt. Advance these two, move them as far as you possibly can, do all the other movements around your army, and then, this is where the magic comes in, you deep strike these guys. So you want to get those Lynch Guard there, you deep strike these, and make sure you have one of these. These are essential for Flayed ones. That 2-inch gap is essential, okay? You gotta make sure you keep one in range of both the powers. 4+ reanimation and 5+ in run. So you just use the thing. I'll do this really quickly. Keep at least one guy in range, okay? Another good advantage of this, right, is these guys are really hard to kill just from shooting. So somebody deep strikes behind you, there's a good chance for them to kill them. The things that kill these are like the things that do like D6 damage in shooting phase. Everything in this combat base will be in combat with the Flayed ones, so you haven't got to worry about being in combat with him with anything else. So, there you go, you're 9 inches away. And what you do now, you just try the charge. You have 9-inch charge, use a command point if you have to. So, there's a good chance you'll make it. If you don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure they can survive a turn of shooting. But the thing that makes these work, right, is not to have just this. You need to put pressure on the sides. Like you might want to send Wraiths up. So yeah, you send the Wraiths up the side like that, and then you got more. The opponent got more targets to shoot at. You got units of 6 on either side, put pressure on. You can just send Scarabs up for points. It's still pressure. The point is, if you just have this one assault-based thing in your army, the opponent will shoot everything into to kill it. If you have a few things attack on either side, you'll be like, what do I shoot at? And turn 2 then, on your turn 2, you can give them My Will Be Done. It's just pretend they're making the combat, they didn't get. They move like 5 inches, so they'll be like there. Just move the front row for now, I'm lazy. Okay, these move 5 inches up. Assault these guys. Okay, so they can move them like almost there. And then try your charge again. And then command point again if you fail. Okay, we get +1 to the charge range now on the second turn. +1 to hit, and rolling 1s in combat. So wherever they get in combat with will die. Okay? They will even take out Gene Stealers. Because they got 5 wind run, plus the reanimation on top of that. And because it's such a big blob, they're really hard to shift. You have 20 wounds with a 5 up invuln, 4 up armor, toughness 4. Okay, that's the major way of using them. And like I said before, I think they are stronger than Lynch God, simply because you got that speed. Okay, the second way to use Flayed ones now is to do them in units of 5 without any HQ support. And by doing this, you will have the ability to deep strike 9 inches away, which you obviously know. But what I would recommend you do is keep these in reserve for, say, turn 2, turn 3, and try and shoot your opponent off an objective. And on your next turn then, you can deep strike them on, like there. And hopefully they'll have a cover. It'll be in the building or something. So you'll have a 3+ save. That is another way to use Flayed ones, just as an infiltration unit. And by doing that, your opponent will be afraid to go and get off you because of the Flayed ones. They're hard to kill. And another good thing is, if you can deep strike them behind a building so your opponent can't actually see them, but they know they're there, that will give you ball control because they'll be afraid to go near you. So there's Lynch God there, like they'll be like, do what you want to send Lynch God to do with 5 Flayed ones, or should I go attack this unit of Wraiths, or this massive unit of Scarabs? The point is, they're not very dangerous, and if your opponent probably won't attack them unless they need the objective off you. So turn 2, turn 3, if you can get on one of these objectives with some Flayed ones, the same as the death marks, it's annoyance, and over 50% of the cards are objective based. So there's a good chance you'll probably need that in a turn or 2. And if you're lucky enough, if you put in a building, you can get them in a building, like on the bottom floor or the top floor, somewhere where you can't see them all. So if you're lucky that way, you can get him in a building without line of sight on him. So he has to come over, and then you get to assault him. And they are Flayed ones, they will hit hard if they charge because they get first hit in combat. They're not weak like they used to be. Okay, so that's another good way to use Flayed ones. Right, and another good way to use Flayed ones, which I found, is cut the World Killer. What I would recommend with this guy, if you want to use Flayed ones, you can deep strike him turn 1 like I just showed you with this guy, but Orkan Diviner will not work, there's a different dynasty. Okay? So you're sacrificing durability for a lot of speed. So say turn 2, if you manage to make the assault in your turn 1. So turn 2, you've killed whoever you're in combat with. You're able then to move 5 inches, plus an assault with My Will Be Done, so you get a +1 to your assault. What is it? Advance. You get 1 inch plus 1 inch to your advance. So the very minimum you're moving 7 inches. So you go up for 5 inches, 7 inches minimum. And then you can also, obviously you can command point if you get 1, so you can get more. So basically, if you're lucky, you can get a nice high number, move almost like 12 inches across and solve something else. So this guy makes Flayed ones much faster, but you do lose durability. They will die a lot faster. But he's also cheaper than 2 HQ choices. So you can use this with units of 5, you can deep strike like 4 units of 5 next to him and just run off and go attack something if you wanted to. So he's handy in that way. To be honest with you, I think this guy is really, really strong. I think he's overlooked. But in my opinion, he's really good for assault armies. That's extra speed is what Necrons have lost, because they've lost the Night Scythe and the Monolith ability. You can't move and dump your guys, you can move, and then they'll get destroyed. And so you can't put your guys down. Like if you're Space Marines, if your unit gets blown up, you just roll. Oh look, one might die, it doesn't matter. With Necrons, if the transport's gone, they're gone, they can't use, they're just dead, it's not fair. So, he's a good replacement for objective grabbers. Like 4 or 5 units of Flayed ones, if you like Flayed ones, like mass Flayed ones, take this guy. Just run up the blob, like and they can all just advance and run off. You can do major damage with him. But like I said, he does lack the ability to keep him alive. You could also always try and run a Cryptek with the like 4 or 5 units of Flayed ones with this guy, but it's only an invuln against shooting attacks, and it's hard to keep up with so many units and keep them in range. If you want like a Death Star, go with Imhotep or Stormlord. If you want speed, just the one guy, and go for it. So that is 3 ways how to use Flayed ones, and never underestimate the power of annoying people. Just chucking those guys up there on the objective might win you the game in 2 turns time. And if you can, try and get them out of line of sight and just leave them there. And if you've got like a unit of something there, like Wraiths coming in and like coming across to attack you, and they start to struggle, you can bring them in then. Like, haha, I got you now, boom. Okay, so that is my few tricks how to use Flayed ones. And one of the most important things you need to remember is the -1 to your opponent's morale test, or +1 to your opponent's morale test. Okay, so when you get a card, make your opponents fail a morale test, you got that ability to help, and if you got Deceiving range, that helps as well. So if you got the Lynch Guard combo with them, you can come out with the Lynch Guard and get them in there as well, and then you got +2 to the leadership. So there's a good chance you can score that point. Also, if you're using Flayed ones, you've got Imotech Stormlord. Try and use his Lord of the Storm ability on something that's really high toughness, like a vehicle, because it's pointless using it on troop choices and stuff that the Flayed ones can take care of. So after you finished all your assaults and that, just use it on something that's hard to wound, like an Imperial Knight or something nasty. Okay. So, thank you all for watching, and if you think I missed anything, let me know. And I will see you next time.